What is going on? Welcome to episode 62 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh, on this Nintendo Powercast Mini. How you guys doing tonight? Thank you for being here with me live on twitch.tv/N64Josh. Before we get started on this thing, remember if you go to audibletrial.com/NPC, you can get yourself a free audiobook from Audible. And books I recommend are the Ultimate History of Video Games, or Super Mario, How Nintendo Conquered America. Again, that's audibletrial.com/NPC. Also, the chair I'm sitting in from opseat.com. Comfortable, affordable gaming chairs. And you can save yourself $10 by using coupon code N64Josh. That's opseat.com. Go check them out. Lastly, I do have a Patreon where you can get yourself, for $1, an extra podcast, and there's other tiers as well. If you go to patreon.com/N64Josh, you'll find all the information there. I do want to say just hello, everybody. Pudding, Nightcrawler, Katie, anybody who's just lurking tonight. Thank you for being here with me on this NPC mini. I'm going to try to do these things on Thursday nights. Sometimes they may end up coming out Friday mornings a little bit later. It'll just depend on my schedule and what's going on. But this time of year, typically my wife is watching a particular show, so I sneak up to my office to get one of these knocked out. So that's what we're doing, and we got some fun stuff to talk about tonight. We got some pictures from Nintendo's past, as well as a tiny little bit of Animal Crossing news. So I'm excited to jump into all of that. So let me see here. I just want to make sure I get my notes up here. And one of the things I want to mention that I want to start doing a little more often is putting a little more emphasis on indie games. So one of the games that we're gonna talk about on Tuesday quite a bit is Celeste. It has been getting 10 out of 10s from multiple websites, IGN included. And I watched Lloyd from Nintendo Pulse stream the game for a little bit while I was playing some Mummy Demastered, and I gotta say, I think I'm gonna end up picking that game up before the weekend's over. So it looks really good. It looks really good. And so, like I said, it's getting great reviews. The moment Hate picked it up, he immediately got into our Discord and was like, "Buy this right now." And then in the other server, he's like, "Buy this game now." He just kept going on and on. So he's really enjoying it. It looked like a game that's not necessarily for the faint of heart. Like, if you don't like getting frustrated by your games because they can be a little tough, may not be the game for you. But overall, I think it looks like a ton of fun, and I'm excited to jump into it. I'm also loving the art style of it, just the kind of the old school pixel art. So I will be checking that one out. And the other one that I just mentioned too was Mummy Demastered, and I realized today, it might have been last night, I can't remember, I put the Switch in the dock and fired that game up and realized it was the first time I had played it on the TV. Every other time I had played that game, it had been in handheld mode. And the game looks great in handheld mode, didn't think anything of it, but getting to see those pixels on like a 27-inch TV or monitor, I was like, this game looks gorgeous. Like, not only does that game play really well, but it looks really good. So if you're looking for a game to kind of scratch that Metroid, like side-scrolling Metroid itch that you maybe you liked back in the day, like Metroid Fusion or something, I highly recommend the Mummy Demastered. Yes, it's tied to a terrible movie. No, it has nothing to do with the movie. And it's tied to it, but it's not nearly as bad. It's probably the best thing about the movie. So I do recommend that one. I've been unlocking different weapons and everything, and I gotta say, like, the sound of the shotgun and the way the bullets leave the gun, spot on. Like, it's really fun for a side scroller. I'm really enjoying it. It's definitely that Metroidvania. It's got both. It's definitely got both of them going because at certain points there's actually lights hanging from chains that you're shooting to get health and that kind of stuff. So um, it's a good one. It's a good one. So I would recommend picking it up. And I think we're gonna talk about it even more. I'm actually gonna try to finish it this weekend. I know Kirby, don't faint. So, but I'm gonna try and finish it this weekend. So, um, and she's typing in all caps handheld mode. So I do want to mention we've been having a blast playing Mario Kart on stream. So if you're looking for some people to play Mario Kart with, and you want to just have a good time shooting me with shells and throwing shells back at me, when there's clearly people in front of you that you could try to take out, uh, we're having some fun. We're having some fun. Even offline when I'm not streaming, like when I jumped in and Nightcrawler, who's been a regular in the stream, just a regular playing Mario Kart with us. I'm just racing along, and oh hey, Nightcrawler's in the game. Oh hey, Nightcrawler's throwing shells at me while he's in like fourth place and has people in front of him. But no, it's cool. It's cool. So we're definitely having some good times with that. So if you're just looking for more people to play with, I would say check out our Discord. It's one of the first links in the show notes if you're listening to this. And so come join us. It's we're making new friends. We now have the Watermelon Squad, which consists of Kirby Geek 4 and KDN 97. They both play as a green and pink shy guy, and they are a force to be reckoned with. So I may just need help from them. So this is actually a cry for help. Please come help me. No, really. No, I'm just playing. Um, DJ's like watermelon what? So but the streams have been a ton of fun. So thank you guys for coming and hanging out. I know some of you just from listening to the podcast, that's how you found out about the stream, and you've joined us, and we've been having a good time. So Pudding makes a good point. I'm gonna pull my Switch real quick. I want to just look at the list of current games that dropped today on the system here. So I'm going to fire up the store, and there's actually quite a few of them. The first one that I already mentioned, Celeste, came out $14.99. Looks to be a pretty stellar game. Kirby is saying that next month seems to be very indie heavy, so we'll see. We'll see a bunch more games. I mean, it feels like every month is fairly indie heavy. Oh, I'm sorry. Celeste is $19.99, not $14.99. So just keep that in mind. But we also got Earth Wars is another one that dropped today. Looks like interesting. It's kind of it says a tough, cheeky 2D action game. So it looks kind of cool, kind of different art style. Not something I'm used to seeing. It's only $4.50. So we also got Zero Gunner 2, tennis game, Strikers 1945 2. This one, Fantasy Hero, and it looks like an action RPG. 10 returns, second run, or 10 second run returns. I think, I don't know. It's hard to, the way they have their logo. I think it's 10 second run returns. We also got another Arcade Archives, Kid Nicky, Radical Ninja, and Space Dave, which it actually looks kind of fun. It looks like an old school, like Space Invaders, Galaga style game. Few more here. Super One More Jump, which I watched the video of, looks pretty fun, and Dust Off, Heli Rescue 2, which any of you that have been playing games for a long time, back in the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis days, there was a game called Desert Strike, and you played as a helicopter, and this Dust Off Heli Rescue kind of reminded me of that. So who knows? That may be another one I pick up. I'm also going to just kind of go through the backlog and um, and just pick out some random indie titles throughout each week, just so that there may be some, we get to some points where it's like, man, there's not something new right now. What's something that might be good to go, to go back and check out. So I just want to make sure that we're giving these indies enough attention, because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. So, and hopefully, if you happen to be an indie developer listening to this, please reach out to me. You can either email me n64josh at gmail, or hit me up on Twitter. My DMs are open. We'd love to get you on the show and have you like talk about your game. Like this is something I'd like to see on the regular. We had the guys from Floor Kids on, and they were kind enough to give us 3 codes. So remember, on Tuesday night, we're giving away some codes live on the stream, and in the Discord, we'll be giving away a code as well. So looks like, let's see, what's chat saying here? Kirby says, I would say this month is pretty lacking compared to some past months, but still not bad. Yeah, the last 2 weeks prior to this week, things were definitely slow, but I think it's intentional because a lot of people don't really spend much money the first 2 weeks in January. It seems like that's pretty common. So, we got about to the 3rd week now, so we're starting to see a bunch more games come out, and I'm imagining next week we'll see be similar to this week, and then from what Kirby's been saying, February is going to be pretty nuts with indies. So it should be an exciting month. And I was thinking about these indies, and like basically these things have become the appetizers for the AAA main courses that we get throughout the year. And sometimes you get to the point that an appetizer ends up becoming a whole meal, and that seems to be the case with some of these indies. Stardew Valley, what a massive game! Like, you could play that for so long. It's just massive, and that's one of those games that, like, I've been looking through my friends list and seeing people have like 95 hours, 100 hours. Like, that's crazy for an indie title, and I think it's awesome. So, I think we're still going to see things like that. We're seeing like some full-on RPGs. We're seeing arcade games. We're seeing just such a great spread of all these different kinds of games. Some games that are just like completely different from the norm, and some that are just, a little bit cookie cutter and kind of what what you've come to expect from indie games. But we're getting such a great, just a great library. It's really hard to keep up with, and I think it's really smart. I saw a post on Reddit where somebody mentioned that, like, basically indies are like the bread and butter for the Switch, because they're just keeping people so busy, and there was so much buzz today, even about Celeste, and I mean, great for the publisher. Kirby pointed out that when she fired up her Switch, it was on the little news thing on the side, and I mean, it's really good just to see Nintendo supporting these. Taking these indies and really supporting them in a really cool way, giving them directs, putting them up on the news little feed and everything like that. So she's currently shaking her fist at me for taking exactly what she wanted to say. So forgive me, Kirby. I'm sorry. A few other things we gotta just, I mean, these next few weeks, unless there's like a big direct, or we find out a bunch of games that are going to be coming out or anything like that, of course we'll cover it. But the last few weeks, as far as like major news, the Labo was our big thing. We've talked about that the last 2 weeks in a row. So what's been kind of cool these last few weeks, and I'll try to include links right in the show notes to some of these photos, but we have come across a photo from Nintendo, let's see, here it is. Nintendo's very first office in Kyoto in 1889. And there's a photograph of it, and there's a bike um, tied up to the handrails of the sidewalk. Basically, is what it looks like, and the picture's like really overexposed, but um, uh, you can see it says Nintendo Card Company, and it it's really cool being able to see something like this. I mean, I've been listening to so many history books and things like that recently. I never ever would have thought I would see a picture of this, and here it is. So it's pretty awesome. And I'll make sure to try to remember to get a link in the show notes so you guys can check it out. If you go on to Reddit right now, it's on the front page, so it's easy to find. But it looks pretty cool. Then DJ posted in our Discord a blast from the past, photos of Nintendo actually steamrolling pirated Game Boy games. And so September 15th, 1994, I'm just reading from the Video Game History Foundation. It's at gamehistory.org on Twitter. September 15th, 1994. Nintendo's Netherlands branch literally steamrolls over bootleg Game Boy games that custom seized at the border, while a slightly off-model Mario, and you can see him in the pictures, watches from the sidelines. And it's it's full-on pictures of a steamroller just crushing these things. And I mean, Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance games, DS games, I mean, all of those have become so easy, or they even at the time they were so easy to copy and make bootlegs, that it really doesn't surprise me that we're seeing these kind of pictures of Nintendo just destroying them. I mean, there's thousands of dollars in bootleg copies just being destroyed. So kind of fun to look at. Again, I'll try and include a picture or a link in the notes for that. And it's on gonintendo.com. That's where I'm looking right now. So pretty cool. Oh, good point. I didn't even really think about that. I can show you guys these pictures live. So give me 1 second here. Let's see. We'll go well, it would take me way too long. I'm not even going to mess with it, but you guys can check it out. I'll throw the links in the chat. You guys can look on your own. Lastly, the last thing I wanted to cover as far as news is a trademark for a little game known as Animal Crossing. So I'm going to read exactly what this is. Japanese Nintendo.com. I don't even know exactly what this website is. It looks like a fan website of some kind. Anyway, it just says trademarks at the top. Welcome to Animal Crossing. Nintendo apply for Animal Crossing trademark. Nintendo Co. Ltd. have applied for a further Animal Crossing trademark in Japan for a variety of purposes, including software for home video game machine, portable electronic game machine, and smartphone devices, as well as stuffed animals, game machine controllers, board games, playing cards, protective carrying cases, trading card games, and much more. And then they have a picture of the full application. It's all in Japanese, so I can't read any of it. But any little tidbit of Animal Crossing news is going to get me excited. Kirby Geek saying, I didn't think about that. I don't think about the live chat. I am sorry. One day I will be a better live host, so forgive me. But yeah, I mean, it literally could mean nothing as far as like an actual game coming out, but just the fact that we get to see anything with Animal Crossing, I'm like, cool. Let's get that game out, please. I'm ready. I know we were talking about it in stream, And Kirby mentioned that she's like, I'm not ready for Animal Crossing, and I was like, because of the other games coming out, and she was like, yeah, yeah. So I mean, it is one of those games that like it's going to take over my Switch when it comes out, and I would love to hear from you guys in chat, and if you're just listening to this live, hop into our Discord. Are you ready for Animal Crossing? Is it the next game that you really hope we get? If you're watching this on YouTube, you can leave a comment or leave a comment down below. Or do you want to see Nintendo wait just so we can play some of these other games first? Because I know for me, it is going to take over my Switch. It's going to take over my streams. We'll still have to get Mario Kart in because it's Mario Kart, but. So DJ says not interested. The guy who always wants unique experiences from Nintendo doesn't want Animal Crossing. So there you go. Katie Ann says not just the Switch, more like my life. So that pretty much sums it up. Kimbo Trout says would love a new AC. So some of us are ready, some of us are not. Yikum says I haven't played Animal Crossing, might try it out someday. Pudding says, wait, is there an Animal Crossing coming to the Switch? We don't have any news other than they just trademarked it. That could just be to extend the name or whatever. But it's there's a lot of speculation. I think a lot of people are hoping, minus DJ, that it comes out this year. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed on that one. Kirby says she's never gonna be ready. Yeah, and that's gonna be the case. I mean, the good thing in my mind, looking at like the way I play Animal Crossing, is I will play a lot when it first comes out, but then I will get to the point that it's one of those games I'll pick up, kind of do my dailies, and then be fine. And depending on the month or what's going on, if there's like festivals and stuff, you may end up playing it a little bit more. But right off the bat, it's one of those games I'll play a ton for probably the first like 6 to 9 months, and then after that, it kind of just becomes something that I'll just check stuff daily, and then move on with something else. Now, this could be different though. You just never know. You never know what kind of content it's going to have and how addicting it will be. Hopefully, it's an improvement upon New Leaf, which is, kind of hard to do because New Leaf is so good. But there's always ways they can get more creative, give us more ways to play together. Kirby Geek says, when New Leaf came out, I basically had to make a schedule with timers and stuff so I could force myself to play other games. Katie Ann says they released Pocket Camp and it just wasn't enough for me. I loved collecting all of the things for the museum. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt with Pocket Camp as well. Yikum from chat is saying Pokemon Crystal comes out tomorrow. So if that's a game you've got some nostalgia for and you still got your 3DS, make sure to log into the eShop and pick up Pokemon Crystal. You got to catch them all. So that's another release right there. There is stuff coming out constantly, and we're only going to see an increase, I believe, at least for Switch titles as this year moves forward. So I think that's it for this mini Nintendo Powercast. Guys, if you're here with me live, thank you for hanging out. This has been fun. We're just going to do these like short half-hour shows, hopefully just to mix in with the hour show. And let me know what you guys think of these. Let me know in the Discord, whatever, if this is something you want to see more often. We really could put out a show a day. It's just a matter of me finding the time to do it. So this has been a blast. Thank you guys again. Remember, audibletrial.com/NPC gets you a free book from Audible. OPC.com, a comfortable, affordable gaming chairs. Use coupon code N64Josh to save yourself $10. If you'd like to get yourself an extra podcast for $1, you can go to patreon.com/N64Josh. And you guys can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, Twitch. Everything is N64Josh. If you Google N64Josh, you're going to find everything. Kirby says Kirby is out tomorrow too, I think. I thought Kirby was last Friday. If she's, are you talking about Battle Royale? I think Battle Royale was last Friday, but I mean, either way, it's going to either out last week or it's going to be out tomorrow. So if that's a game you've had on your radar, you can check out the demo on the eShop if you want to be able to play that. So go do that. This coming Thursday, I will be on the Nintendo Dads podcast. I think it's live on their YouTube channel. I will post in the Discord and tweet it out if we do go live. Otherwise, if you check out the Nintendo Dads podcast, I'm going to be on there. I believe they call it like a retro rewind, and we're going to be talking about Metroid Prime. So it should be fun. It should be a good time. So that's it for this episode. Thank you guys for being here live. Thank you guys for listening in your car or listening at work or wherever you listen to podcasts. I appreciate it, and we'll see you on Tuesday. Take it easy. Okay. Guys, I'm going to just stop streaming just real quick so I can get the video, and then I'll fire it right back up. So you guys will be able to refresh in just a second, and I'm going to just hang with you as I get this thing ready to go. Be right back.